Video journal entry 34, August 24th, 2025. This week low-key felt like a filler week. I don't know, it just felt like a blur. It just went past. I didn't have too many core thoughts this week. I was just moving in motion, just getting through the days. Like, the year is going by so fast. Today is a really nice day in Chicago. It's it's cool, and you feel fall is right upon us. And it just makes you see how fast the year is going by. I love transitional seasons. I love that cool air. I love that crisp, cool air that comes in my room when I open the window. And my room gets all chilly, and I snuggle in my blanket. I love that. And I can hang out on the deck and stuff. I feel like sitting on the deck is prime during transitional seasons, like spring and fall. In the summertime, it's it's hot, and then the mosquitoes, and then the wasps. So I feel like it really hits during these times. So I'm looking forward to that. My sitting outside on the deck time. And Gigi can hang out with me out there too, because she loves sitting outside. She loves being outside. But alas, I've been also thinking about the idea of living abroad and what that looks like. I've talked about that many a times, I feel like. And I think about it more, especially since the times that we're in right now. And I think about what that looks like, and it's also trying to keep my family on their toes. Sometimes it's I wish my parents were more on point with certain things. I didn't have to be the force to push for certain things, you know. I don't know. I just wish. So I just want to make sure they're on game. My mom, make sure my mom's passport is renewed, get my dad his passport. He's dragging his feet on stuff like that. But alas, that's where I'm at with it. I've been just chilling. Also, I feel like Gigi has me outside. Gigi, it's nice to be outside every day, because I can take Gigi out and things like that. And I feel like it's nice, because I feel if I was feeling down in these times, I would just be feeling down, and I would not want to go out, and I would be in the house. But now, even if I feel down, I go outside every day, and I get some fresh air and a bit of sunlight, which I really appreciate. I was outside with Gigi this week a few times. I stopped by a little cafe that had an outdoor area, and she came with us. She was so chill, she was super relaxed, and just hung out there while I did a little bit of work. And I also took her by farmer's market. Farmer's market was a little more tumultuous, because a lot of people, and trying to navigate through a crowd by yourself is something, but then trying to navigate through a crowd with your dog. Your dog is what's going on? That's something too. But alas, she still did really good. So those are the things I did this weekend. Read my stuff, worked on some of my pottery slowly but surely. I'm working on my pottery piece that I mentioned before. And that's where I'm at. I need to be a little bit more 10 toes about the music. I've just been listening to my little demo clips. And I've been I guess maybe a little stressed and anxious about doing the production. So I've been I guess anxiety is pushing me back from doing that. But I've been trying to listen to the production, or not listen to production, but listen to the track skeleton of the song, and then thinking about what I want that arrangement to be. And then I've also been listening to other songs that might have a similar arrangement, not a similar arrangement, but in a similar genre and things that I might want to see. I've been listening. There's one arpeggio song. I've listened to that because I kind of want some strings in there. I want to have a mix of I'm thinking of certain Afro beats, certain rock, and then maybe certain classical elements in there that I want to kind of incorporate. Maybe a little bit of jazz in there that I want to kind of incorporate. So I'm gonna see how it goes. I've been just thinking, but yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I feel also another thing. Final thing, I feel something is bothering me with Gigi. She's having some type of an issue, and I don't know what it is. And it's been a little irritating because not her issue, but the situation around it. Because I have to explain to the rescue organization that something's bothering her, so they can set up an appointment for her. And when I tell you, they from the beginning they kept trying to convince me that if she was okay. So essentially she's she would like chase her tail and bark and chase her tail. And at first we didn't see her chase her tail, we just heard her bark. But then when we go down, she would stop. And finally I saw what was going on. She was like scooching her bum and like nipping at it. And then eventually after like she would get irritated and she would start chasing and barking. So that was what was causing her to chase and bark. And I was like trying to explain to them, and they kept trying to like convince me like, oh, you know, barking and like chasing her tail, they do it to release energy for fun. And I'm like, no, it's not for fun. Like there's something bothering this dog. And then like finally I caught her on video doing a scooching. And then they're like, oh, yeah, something wrong. So, and then finally set up an appointment. And they did like anal gland expression for her because they said, oh, that's probably what it might be. But it's gotten worse now. Like now I've noticed, I pinned it down that she's doing it immediately after she eats. And it's getting worse because at first she was just doing it in the evening. But now she's doing it in the morning too, which is after she eats. So I'm like kind of worried. And she was really sick this week. I gave her some like Hill Science diet for stomach and skin. And that was her new food I was going to give her because the food they gave me when I picked her up ran out. And like it wasn't really the best food to be eaten, you know. I think that food can cause diabetes in dogs. Some cases that's reported. And also that was what the owner like sent with her. And also they say it might be linked to some type of a disease. So I didn't want to rebuy her that food again. So I got her some Hill Science diet, and like she threw up and had diarrhea from that. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm just cooking her food, and like I want to make sure I'm getting her correct nutrients in. You know, I don't just want to be making her food and like not getting the correct nutrients she has. But all that happened last week, and her symptoms with her little bum is not feeling better. So like I had to explain that again to them, and that's what irritates me is because like having to constantly explain. I hate having to constantly explain and like prove like something's bothering her. Like I'm watching this dog every day. I'm pretty much at home with her. I'm watching her, and I study things. You know, I pick up on things. I study things, so I can understand when something's out of the normal. I'm gonna pick it up pretty quickly. So that was really irritating to have to keep explaining that. And then finally they're like, oh, okay. So now we're like in communication with like the vet and stuff. And I'm a little bit annoyed too because when I brought her to the vet the first time, I wish they would have really thoroughly looked at her versus to just say like, I guess since anal gland may be the biggest thing. But like I'm kind of annoyed that they just expressed her anal gland and like that was it. I don't even know if they really, she was in and out pretty quickly. So I don't really know how they really thoroughly checked her, or if what the protocol would be, but alas. But we're finally in communications with them again, and communication has slowed down because we finally reached back out on Friday, so the weekend has passed and we haven't, the office closed. So tomorrow, finally, we can like try to start scheduling things to go get her seen. And I just want her to feel better, and then I'll feel more at ease. I feel like before I was stressed about a lot of things when like finalizing adopting a dog, you know, but I feel like a lot of that stress that I had has like really eased off. Like as far as like, oh, will I be able to travel? Will I be able to just, a lot of it has eased off, and like now I feel like now I can finally I'm really enjoying like uninterrupted my time with her without like my additional stress. Cause I feel like I had that additional stress. Once I started thinking like, oh my gosh, I might want to adopt her. That's when that stress and anxiety hit me, and I feel like I've been thinking about that a lot. I feel like that bit of stress has kind of like eased off, and now I just spend time with her, and I really love spending time with her. But the only last thing that's like really making me hesitant is like the health thing, and it really makes me nervous, like to like if she's sick and I adopt a sick dog, and like vet costs are expensive. Medical costs in the States are expensive, let alone vet costs. You know, and sometimes vet costs can also be very predatory, especially as like vet industry and things get privatized. It gets very expensive, and in this economic climate, like I have my emergency fund for things, but like from the numbers that I see people like stating from like veterinary costs is like crazy, and I feel like I feel like these industry kind of expect people to just like maybe go into debt about stuff like that. They bank on like the relationships with animals and things like that, and they just kind of expect people to be like, oh, I can't afford this anyway, I'll just swipe it off on my card and things like that, and that really makes me nervous. I don't want to like get into a financially strenuous situation, especially in this time, like, so I'm really kind of hesitant about that. And then if that would be happening, it would make me really stressed, because initially, as I mentioned before, like my plan was about getting the dog as way it was to like work with a really certified ethical breeder. And essentially what that means, I think I've talked about this before, but like they do like health testing, and they only really made dogs that have been like certified and health tested and have good temperaments. Like there's like unethical breeding, and then like there's more ethical breeding where they kind of do all their work around it, and they make sure like they're breeding healthy dogs. And the point of like you pay that ticket number for the healthy dog is to like save on those like costs that come with an unhealthy dog like that. So like if she was like super sick, that would like really stress me out a lot, and it just kind of, it would have defeated the whole purpose of like my initial plan, which was to like adopt a dog, even though to go with a breeder, even though like I decided I really don't want a puppy anymore. Like once I fostered for the first time, I realized adult dogs are the way to go. So I know I wouldn't get an adult dog, but like even still, I would have thought about like some breeders, if they like retire out their dogs, they like might have older dogs and things like that, and that would have been an option. But I feel like I really do want to go the shelter route, I think, and like the rescue route. But like that's things like that are like worrying me. Like if I can get my financials together, I wouldn't mind it. But like I don't want to operate based off of like, oh, you know, I'll get myself together. I want to operate on what I can do, what I know I can do right now. So what I know I could cover right now. Not like, oh, like hopefully in the future I'll make money and da 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 da, you know, I'll make more money and da 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 da. No. I operate off of what exactly I can do right now in the present before I make my decision. I feel like when I was getting my crib, I feel like one thing that I was thinking about when it came to like staying with my parents is like what I envision to do in the future when I have my money. It's like in my head, in my little head, I was like, okay, I'll get this place, I'll live with my parents, and then I'll make more money, and then like I'll move in my own place, or like I'll help them get their own place. That was my head, and like I forgot like it's gonna take time to, you know, get that money and like increase my income and things like that. That all that takes time, and all the type of like irritation and things like living with a family, like living with parents, I'll have to deal with that in the meantime. And I didn't really think about all those things like that. And I feel like, but that instance right there made me like teach me a lesson, really, to like really operate off of what I can do in the present and what will happen in the present. So that's why I'm operating right now. But it's like, you know, I do really want to keep her. Like I really want to keep her. Like that's my girl, man. So I'm trying to like, I've really started her page. Like I've started her little pages on socials to like try to put a back platform. Because I thought to myself like, okay, if I can like build income for her off of like social media and something like that, then I can put away in a savings account. That way if anything happens, I don't have to worry about it. And like she can get taken care of, and like all of that is fine. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And I really hope whatever's wrong with her gets situated, and then we can like move forward, and I don't have to like stress. Like I hope it's nothing like super serious, you know. That it's something I can manage and I can handle. Like if it's something that she has like allergies and I have to manage it with like dietary things, and I just have to put a little bit more thought into diet, I don't really mind that, you know. But like I don't want it to be like something that's like super, super serious, you know. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully I'm looking forward to tomorrow so we can finalize this communications with the vet and get her appointment to be seen and like call that a day. That's where I'm at with it. Like I said, this week felt like a big filler work for me. Like I was kind of just like moving, you know. But yeah, that's it for me. I'm about at the midway point still. I don't know what's gonna get me above that midway point. But yeah, I'm also another thing I'm thinking about too is that push to get more to build my income. That was one of my earlier goals this year, in the beginning of the year. I feel like, you know, I think to myself, like, I haven't been making any progress on that, but I thought about it and I was like, I think I made a little progress. I made like $600 off of investment, or actually, no, I made a little bit more than $600 off of investments. I probably made like $1,000 off of investments, like this past few months, I would say, because I bought something in my Roth IRA. When my Roth IRA dipped, I bought some, did I buy like some like, I bought like an ETF, I think. And then I think I might have bought like a mutual thing. And then I also got some Ethereum when that big dip happened. I didn't buy too much. I wish I kind of would have bought more, but at the same time, I'm okay that I didn't, because the market is so volatile. Like, and it's like, you know, a real crazy volatile market where people are like actively trying to inflate and deflate the market for their own gain. Like, market manipulation. So like, I was very weary, and I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I kind of wanted to keep cash. So I didn't, I would have liked to vest my whole, Roth IRA, because I haven't really invested my Roth IRA. I've been like putting money into my Roth IRA, but I haven't invested it, and I actually stopped my monthly payments to my Roth IRA because I wanted to have more cash on hand. But alas, so I guess I have made a little bit of. It's not the progress I want to make in income, but it's there. That's something, you know. I want to make more progress. But that's what I'm thinking about. The week before, I was thinking a lot about ads. This week, I didn't even think much about anything like that. I'm just kind of tired of like consumerism and all these things, but alas, that's where I'm at with it. Wishing for the best. But yeah, that's it for me this week. See me next week. Bye.